Hi there, and welcome to episode 3 of South Coast Supremacy with Portsmouth. Deadline day is fast approaching, and we are unbeaten in the league. Yes, welcome to episode 3 of South Coast Supremacy, and where we left off from last time is when we had a draw with Sheffield Wednesday, and we beat Lincoln. And since then, well, we're out of the Carabao Cup already. We lost to Cheltenham. I don't really know what happened there. But good news is in the league we are unbeaten. We're looking at 3 draws, 3 wins. I mean, technically we haven't won them all, and technically, as you can see, we are not top of the league. But you know, we're unbeaten. It's a positive start. And also on the positive note, we have got the joint top scorer in the league. So as much as Jefferson could turn out to be a cracking signing for us, at the moment, Scarlett is the star of the show, and I'm quite happy with that. If he wants to continue being the star of the show and continue scoring the goals, well, I guess Jefferson's just going to have to sit on the bench, isn't he? The one thing I do remember from the Carabao game in which we did lose, was we went down to 10 men, and even after all that, we still only lost on penalties, and you probably could have argued we probably should have won that game. As you can see, looking at the stats, we had twice as many shots, not that much more on target, but most of possession, and twice the XG nearly. But yeah, here we are out of the Carabao Cup in the first round. But nevertheless, it's the FA Cup, which is the one that gives us the most money, so I ain't going to cry about it too much. But we did get our revenge in the league, and like I said, we went for a couple of draws, and then we did beat Port Vale. And also, you will have noticed, I have changed the formation again. Each episode, I seem to go from the 2 up top to the 1 up top. However, the 1 up top does seem to be the thing that's working at the moment and getting the most out of Scarlett. And Dale seems to be contributing massively on that right-hand side and doing a lot for us. So, again, I think finally I'm going to stick to this formation. And if I do need to change it in due course, then eventually I will change it. But at the moment, we're happy with this. But, again, like I said in the last episode, you could come back next time, and I've changed it again. I'm hoping to stick with this one and see the rewards from it. One thing that was noted from the games in between the episodes is I think we seem to have an anger issue, because 2 out of those games, as you can see, the one in the cup game, as I've just previously mentioned, and also there was another one against Port Vale. We also got a red card, so at the moment this team isn't helping themselves. I mean, we did, in fact, go on and win that game, which, you know, you can't complain. 10 men and still won. But if we keep shooting ourselves in the foot, we're going to struggle to be fighting for the top of the league, which at the moment, we're in a pretty good position. I mean, 4 points off top, but again, we weren't expected to go for the top 2. So, again, I can't complain there. Obviously, we are only 1 point off automatic. Again, one of the direct rivals in this series, Plymouth, are doing absolutely fantastic, which is equally frustrating. But I'm sure by the end, we can get ahead of them. As I did say on the previous episode, I did say I would try and bring in one more player, preferably a winger. I did try and sign Aaron Lennon between episodes and a few other players, but none of it came off. I do have a bid in for a player, is Jordan Thompson, and I guess for a bid on loan. And I guess the idea behind the transfer is he's a bit of an all-in-one. I know it says he's better at the central positions, but as you can see, he does help cover those positions in like worst case scenarios, and it's more bodies in there. And worst case scenario, you can play left back. So hopefully that one will come off. I know with deadline approaching tomorrow, I haven't really got much time, so I suspect if I don't get Thompson in, I'll be amazed if I do bring anyone else in. But if that's the case, we'll just go with what we've got. I mean, I wouldn't say we're short on players. I just think one more winger of a decent quality would really show up those wings and basically mean anyone coming off the bench doesn't really affect the team's quality. So going into the first game of this episode, which is the Papa John's Trophy against Newport County, I did say obviously previously I hadn't quite sorted out my set pieces yet, which was a big no-no for me, but I have managed to sort it out and got it all in place. So this is the team we're going for against Newport County in the Papa John's Trophy. We've got Griffiths in goal, Swanson, Ogilvie on the left centre defence, Morrison in the middle as well, Rafferty on the right, McEachran, Lowry, Jacobs, Karoma, and Dale in midfield and attacking midfield, and Scarlett up top because you don't change a winning team. I know you could say going to the Papa John's Trophy game that I personally said I wasn't too bothered about. You'd mix the team up a bit and try, have a bit of youth and a couple of subs players, but I think the key early on is to build confidence and get this entire team used to the formation. So the best players to have at the moment are the main players, and hopefully they can build up from there. This is a relatively busy start to the game. We have had a couple of highlights so far, and we have hit the post. Oof, and we have just nearly gone ahead there. So in all, positive start. I said, but obviously we have to make sure we keep it up and put one or two of these away, because if I go out of the Papa John's Trophy and the Carabao Cup all in the first couple of months, I imagine the fans are going to be a little bit annoyed. It's not the end of the world. Oh, get in. I don't really know what happened there, but I'll take the goal, because, why wouldn't you? It does look like Lowry's put a free kick in to the far post, Morrison back in, and there's been a scramble in the box, and somebody's kicked it in. Well, obviously, somebody's kicked it in the back of the net. There's a highlight straight from the kickoff here. I'm hoping it's just a standard highlight of the game, but they are coming at us right now, and we have just give the ball away needlessly, so let's hope nothing comes of it. That is one big ball forward. Are we through and Dale in? Dale nearly added to his creativity with a goal there. We should have really been 2-0 up there. If they'd have just put a little bit more power behind that, I think we'd have been fine. I also naively saying that if we lose today, we're out of the Papa John's Trophy, forgetting that it is initially a group stage, so it shows how much I actually really know about this competition. The fact that I didn't even realise it was a group stage. So I guess we won't be getting knocked out today, but still, ideally, we want to win. I've just been bigging Scarlett up before this game, and then he goes and misses that. I hope it's not commentator's curse and he's just not going to be able to hit a barn door now. I think early signs are good. I think we've had pretty much all the possession and all the chances, but only being 1-0 up, I said you're always going to be on edge. This is a very, very long highlight. I won't complain if it results in our goal, but oof. I don't blame the guy for shooting, but we could have made more of that. That was a needless throw-in. Just throwing it straight back to them. And this is, I think, the reason why we are drawn 3 of the games, because we're not consistent enough yet. We still have making moments, and we are making the job hard for ourselves. With multiple red cards and missing clear-cut chances. Did he just trip over randomly there? I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but looks like he just tripped over the player who was nowhere near the ball. Oh, and Scarlett puts it away nicely. So, I guess he's redeemed for now. A big enough for the game, and then he's going and missing sitters like that. But I guess he's redeemed for now, scoring the penalty. Pretty much does put this game to bed. Obviously, this was the game where I wasn't too sure whether I was going to put it into the episode, because I didn't think it mattered too much. But it might be a relatively quick game, this one, considering after half an hour they haven't had a single shot. So barring a disaster, I think I'll just get through this game pretty quickly, and hopefully there's many more highlights and many more goals for us. That is a nice. Oh, we've only got. Commentators curse again. Just talking, saying they've done absolutely nothing so far. Their first chance and first shot, and they go and score. This is what I mean when we're making things a little bit more difficult than it needs to be. But hopefully we'll still see it through. It's still way early into the game. There's Newport on the attack again. Are we going to make it? We're getting. I don't know what's happened here. We've gone 2-0 up and gone to sleep. We're absolutely making a meal of this. I've just been sat here talking about how easy it's going to be, and I'm going to get for the episode quickly, and they just go and make fools of me by messing it up. So we are at half time. I think I'm not going to say I'm too happy, because we should have this game gone now, and now we're going into the second half where we might not actually win it. So I am going to point some fingers, and hopefully that will motivate them a little bit to do a bit better. That long ball they consistently putting up does seem to be causing us a lot of trouble. because they are playing very direct. But again, there's another team with that formation. Well, I mean, is it as defensive as it looks? I'm not too sure it is, but ooh, that was close. I'm not too sure the formation is as defensive as it looked, but oh, we are starting to create a little bit more now. We just hope that them being a bit direct does seem to a bit like that. Does seem to bother us a little bit. We can't seem to cope with them. Literally kicking over us. We're leaving ourselves wide open here. I mean, I was enjoying Morrison at defence, but I mean, at the moment, one of them, Morrison or Gilvey, is going to be getting dropped if they don't get their act together. That is a nice through ball on Days through. Is he going to put the game to bed? No, he's not. No, he's not. I mean, it would have been lovely to see him put that game to bed and finally prove me right rather than wrong. But I think this game I think it's just going to enjoy proving me wrong, isn't it? Oh, there's a nice direct ball again. What can Dale do with it this time? Apparently absolutely nothing other than just swiping it and hope. I might have to look at doing some substitutes soon because we're not really doing much. We're doing the sort of lump it up exactly like that and hope for the best. I mean, what are we doing? I mean, I'm pretty sure we've hit every bar so far, and yet we still can't score another goal. I wish. Ooh, that would have been a nice goal to score there. I wish I'd just scored to shut me up. So we can finally put this game to bed and I can stop stressing that all this talking. I'm going to lose to bloody Newport County. But yeah, just going back briefly to that formation. I mean, this is another team where it's almost, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 defensive players. I mean, surely I know the formation says that, but surely these wing backs are getting up the pitch a little bit more. And they're both Mazzalas. So I guess, like I said, on paper, I guess it looks like it's a defensive team, but actually those 4 sort of positions probably be quite attacking. Now I'm going to do another thing now that potentially could prove me completely wrong, because I think it's time to I'm going to bring Jefferson on now, and hopefully he does prove me wrong. Hopefully he's up for that battle with Scarlett. I am going to bring a defender on as well because we do seem to be having problems. This is where the issues are a little bit regarding obviously the width, because I don't have that many options in regards to the wings. I said obviously if I bring that player in, he's going to be able to cover a lot of different positions. But I think he might find himself playing out on the wing more than he would have expected. It'd be nice if Larry can put this game to bed. I mean, if ever, I guess, give it a go, but we need to be more clinical. I feel like I'm going to hear myself repeating this a lot this season, the fact that we need to be more clinical. Because now I don't think it's a case of lack of chances. And I don't think it's a case of lack of creating chances. I think it's a lack of putting them away. But equally, already, we're 6 games in, I've gone back from one formation to another. And I'm not just going to keep flicking between formations. The main reason I did that is because I'm just trying to figure out what the best formation for this team is. That is a lovely ball over the top. There's nobody in the box for him. Is he going to put it? I mean, we're giving it a go, aren't we? But again, we're creating a lot. But I mean, are we just? I mean, he says offside there, but he was safe there. I mean, we must have hit the bar and the crossbar 3-4 times in this game. 23 shots, 8 on target, and they're just one moment away, a bit like at the beginning of the game, from equalising. I mean, I'll tell you what I am confident about though. We do seem to have some pretty good free kick takers in there, because that's about the 3rd one now where we've come rather close to scoring in the free kick. It looks like the game is fast approaching the end. No more highlights I'd be happy with. It means we have won. Frustrated with the lack of, putting the chances away, but any win's a win, isn't it? And there we go. It's the end of the first game of the episode. We do have a 2-1 win over Newport County in the Papa John's Trophy. We did make a meal of it. If we knew how to score, even though I did big Scarlet up. Oh, I seem to have annoyed them all, but I guess maybe you should have done better. I don't know. Maybe you should have done better. I did big Scarlett up, and he didn't let me down because he did score a penalty, but he did make a meal of it a little bit. Hopefully he can prove me wrong in the next game. But next up, we do have deadline day. Now, the plan going into deadline day, well, there isn't really one because there still isn't any money. So, barring any miracles of any big bids for any of our players that I can't turn down, or I will have a nosy to see if there is any more bargains if this Thompson doesn't come in. Because if the Thompson comes in, oh, as you will be able to see here, our finances will not, well, we won't be able to bring anyone in because we just won't give us any wages to do so. So I am going to go on to deadline day. This could be a rather long deadline day, or I might just skip through it depending on obviously the result of what happens. Hi, only me again, just a little guy in the corner of the screen over there. Obviously, guys, if you are enjoying the series and you are enjoying the episodes, you know what to do, guys. Hit that subscribe and like button if you'd like to see more of this series and more content I do bring up. I also stream over on Twitch as often as I can. There will be a link in the subscription down below if you want to go over there and check it out. And I plan on being there as often as I possibly can. I do appreciate any support that does come my way, and obviously anyone watching these videos, feel free to obviously leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking of the series so far. Let me know your thoughts on Portsmouth so far in the series. But again, I do appreciate all the support. Right, here we are on deadline day. Like I said just a few months ago, I'm not really expecting much business in regards of ins and outs really, but I will go through it, and like I said, I will bring you any highlights of the day in case, in case we pull off any surprises, see whether we bring Thompson in, see if anybody's interested and wants to put in big bids for any of our players. But I will either see you at the other end of the deadline day because it's been absolutely rubbish, or I'll see you with the next highlight. Just a quick moment to highlight the whole I was bigging Scarlett up before the episode. It's, as you can see, he has won Player of the Month with 5 goals so far. So I was right. He has had a good start. Then coming on here and showing me up. So it looks like I didn't take a few things into account, because when it came to getting Jordan Thompson in, because I couldn't afford to pay the wages that they're asking for, obviously I tried to subsidize it by paying a certain of a monthly fee, and it turns out I don't even have enough money to do that. I don't even have money to pay Thompson's monthly fee. I said I'm going to delay it for maybe the end of the day and hope something comes up, but it looks like we're going to miss out on Thompson, and it's just going to be a case of we go with what we got. So as things stands in terms of deadline day, we've got 4 hours remaining. It doesn't look like the Jordan Thompson deal is going to come off because I just ain't going to get the funds from anywhere. However, I may have, and it is a bit of a gamble because I haven't had time to scout him, I may have been able to bring in Tony Springer on loan for, as you can see, absolutely no wages and no contribution. I know it's a bit of a cheeky one to slide in, but it's more bodies on the wings, and hopefully if it goes through, I'll show you guys, and hopefully I'd have made a good signing, even though it's a massive risk because I have no idea how good he is. As you can see, we did end up getting Tony Springer in. I did cancel the signing of Thompson because, as I said previously, I don't think we're ever going to get the funds on this. With 2 hours remaining, I don't think we're ever going to get the funds to bring him in. There's no point having him sat there taking up potential any wage budget could bring any other players in. However, with this guy requiring no contribution, I said it was a no-brainer. I did say it was a bit of a risk to bring him in on the hope that he was good, and I don't know how often this is going to happen, but it looks like it has paid off, because if you go by star ratings, I haven't clicked on his stats or anything yet, but if you go by star rating, he's looking like even if he's just coming off the bench, he's looking like he's going to be a good player to be involved. I do have a few concerns as to how many loans we can have, because I do have a few of them through the door. But I guess we'll cross that path when it comes to it. So the young lad, looking at his stats, he looks like a relatively good player. So there is a few things. Obviously, he is only 19-year-old. His decision making and concentration, which is I'd say a little bit concerning. But a 19-year-old, he's quite fast. He's got a bit of stamina and some pace, and good work rate. So even if he isn't necessarily a guy I start from game to game, bring him off the bench. A lot of youth, a lot of energy. Hopefully, he can contribute to the season. And there we have it, the end of transfer day. As I tell everyone said, I wasn't expecting many highlights through transfer deadline day because there wasn't any money. Obviously, I did try and bring in Thompson, But obviously I didn't take into the account how much he was going to cost outside of the wages, which I didn't realise it was that much. So I had to cancel that one. But these are the 3 signings I've managed to bring in, which I think are all pretty good signings. I know 2 are on loan, but they're both pretty highly rated at their clubs. With Tony Springer at Norwich, obviously we've got McEachran in on a free transfer, and Jefferson on loan from Sheffield United. Hopefully these both will play key parts in getting us promoted this season. But overall, I think that we've had a relatively good transfer window, considering I went into it with about 50,000 and basically no wage budget. I still think the squad is now in a stronger position it was when I took over. Looking at the state of the squad, now transfer is closed and obviously we can't do any more deals. I think I'm relatively happy. I mean, we've got 2 pretty solid goalkeepers for the league. At left back, I think we're well covered at left back as well, and I think the same goes for the right back. In defence, I think we've got a good few centre backs cover. So again, I'm quite happy the fact that I can obviously almost have 2 players for each position, even in this league. So obviously in the central midfield, we've got Park, Morrell, Lowry, and McEachran, who can also play further forward, and so can Duncliffe. Obviously, I'm hoping in the next few months we'll have Louis Thompson back, which can only be a plus. In the meantime, we do have this youngster. It looks like a pretty solid signing. It looks a pretty solid player. I mean, if I more play him, the more he's going to get better. And it's obviously equally the same. The other side, same players, but a lot of players can play both. I said, and obviously going further up, obviously we can remove him now because obviously that Jordan Thompson didn't end up signing for us. So there's no point having him and also him. But looking at that position, I mean, that was the one position where we were a bit light. And that's where that Thompson could have been the one to obviously cover a few different areas and bring a bit of strength and depth there. So there might be a few players, makeshift playing in there and stuff like that. However, as the last 2 episodes shown, you never know. In 2 episodes' time, I could be playing 2 up top, and I don't need this position for 3 or 4 weeks. But as it is for now, I am sticking with this formation, and touch wood, obviously it works for us. Going out on the wings, obviously we've now got the that winger Tony Springer in, which is only just going to be a plus. I mean, obviously, long term, I think we have concerns because I'd say all of our main wingers are all on loan. But again, if they're all in for the season, that's next year's problem. You know, if we're in this league, we'll deal with it. And if we're promoted, maybe we can maybe these lads will want to come back in if they performed well, or maybe we can go and get some better signs in. Obviously, the case will be on the other wing as well. Obviously, he will have. Obviously, looking at the 2 formations I'm wanting to play, they're both going to require wingers. So the fact that we've got quite a few different wingers shows, can only benefit us regardless of the formation. And going up front, as we all know the story there, obviously we now got Jefferson in, but Scarlett's stealing the show at the moment. But even then, we've got Bishop and Pickett who are also on loan. So we have quite a few loan signs. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to register and all. Personally, with the state of the squad at the moment, I'd say I'm quite happy with it. We're pretty much well covered in most positions. But from now to January, whether I think we're covered or not, this is our lot. This is what we're stuck with. Now we'll have to see where we are in January. Then, where if we need to make a few tweaks, if we need to send a few people back, even if we can, we can do so. But I think I'm pretty happy with this squad, and I think we can. I think this is a playoff squad. I think this squad gets playoff. Touch wood, and I haven't just done the commentator's curse already. But touch wood, this team will at least get us to the playoffs. So the plan for the next episode, guys, is to come back for the Plymouth game. Obviously, that's a key match in the series, and hopefully we can beat them and obviously knock them down a peg. And then also in that episode, I think I'll go all the way down to the FA Cup first round, because obviously we've been knocked out of one cup. So hopefully we can do well in the other cup where there is a little bit more money involved, and hopefully it can help. Hopefully it can help bring a bit more money in and obviously give us more transfer budget. So then either going into January or next season, who knows, touch wood, we'll be doing fine. But then equally, it gives me a good chance to play a good few games. It's going to give us a good feel of where the squad's going to be and what sort of battle we're going to be in this season, whether we're going to be in playoffs, automatics, or whether we're just damn right rubbish, or whether I'm rubbish at managing this team. But I do appreciate everybody that does watch these episodes and are patient with me. Obviously, we are on episode 3 now, so hopefully I'm starting to get into the groove of things. I'm very excited about this series. It's my very first one. I hope it's going well, and I'm hoping I'm just going to get better and better each episode. I do appreciate all patience and any support. But again, if you do like it and you do want to see more, feel free to like and subscribe. And go check out episode 1 and 2. Go check out them, and hopefully you'll see yourself in those episodes. I've improved just that tiny bit. But feel free to go check them out, get an idea of where the series is going. Hopefully you are able to follow the story, and I am making it clear enough. But as we know, the overall plan, get Portsmouth back to the Premier League and above all the other teams in the South Coast. But again, I appreciate any support I do get, and I thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in episode 4.